Sometimes, especially when things are going wrong, it can feel like the world has a vendetta against us, that things are going wrong in almost a deliberate sense, that we are being targeted by the universe or punished. A lot of people adopt this sort of why me stance, feeling like life is happening to them, that they are a victim of consequence or a victim of misfortune, that they've been dealt a bad hand, or they are on the receiving end of an unjust punishment because they are not happy with their life or they're not happy with what's going on presently. And they feel like it's unjust, that they're a good person and they do the best to be good for themselves and other people, and that they don't deserve bad things to happen to them. And the more that things go wrong, and maybe you try really hard to rectify those things that are going wrong, or you put a lot more effort into doing the right thing in hopes that it will bring about something positive into your life. And that only serves to make the feeling worse, to feel like it's more unjust, more unfair. We have our own sense of justice, of what is right and wrong, and how the response to right and wrong should be treated. We believe that good people should receive good things and that bad people should receive bad things. And yet we see in the world people that lie and cheat and steal and, they get ahead by some of these metrics. And we say, well, that's not fair. They have things that I'm struggling for. They have money or cars or power or whatever it is. And we say, well, I want those things, but I'm a good person and I'm not getting those things, yet surely I am more deserving of those things than those people that do things that are bad or wrong or unjust. And I wouldn't necessarily say that these feelings are incorrect or wrong, but they're not helpful and they're not productive. They only lead you to feeling beaten down by life. They make you feel like things are hopeless, that there's no point. Why be good? Why do good things? Because, they don't get rewarded, and if anything, they get punished. As they say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but people can end up incredibly frustrated and disappointed that their efforts are not being rewarded. And that may not be in a direct sense. It's not that we're selfish and we believe that if we do something for someone else, that we should get something in return. It's not transactional. It's just an overarching feeling of, if I am a good person, then I should be entitled to a good life. I should be entitled to love and happiness and all these good things because I am a force for good. Or probably more accurately, people believe that they shouldn't be receiving the bad things. Not that they're entitled to lots of good things because they do good, but more so that they are not owed a bunch of bad things. They're not owed a bunch of challenges and problems and pain and punishment in life because they're good people. So why should bad things happen? That's what feels more unjust. People can think about the positive, but I think people more focus on the negative that happens in their life. That is what they feel like they don't deserve. They don't deserve these things to happen. And it can lead them to question why. Why does this happen? Why has this happened to me? What did I do to deserve this? You could believe that it's something to do with your karma, that there was something that you did earlier or in a previous life that led you to earn this punishment, to deserve it. Or you could believe that it's something that you just have to go through. It's a prerequisite to what you want. If you want to be strong, you've got to go through trials that will make you strong. You've got to overcome obstacles. That is how you become strong. But I think there is a deeper truth that is almost even more difficult to contend with. Something that almost everyone rejects. And nobody can see the reason in. Unless their life is going really great, then you don't understand how this could be true. But you chose this life. You chose this existence. You choose this experience. You chose to come here. And that might not make sense to you right now. You might not understand why you would pick this life. why you would choose to pick a life of suffering or to go through what you've gone through. Why would you do that to yourself? It's very hard when you're in it to understand it. But the truth is, you did. You chose to come into this existence, this life. And despite not knowing exactly why you chose this, the sooner you accept that you have chosen this, the sooner you can release this expectation, this idea of transactional morality, that if you just do good things, or you're just a good person, then good things should happen, or that no bad things should happen. You realize that life is not such a case of earning things or deserving of things or doing things and getting a certain result. It's far more a good story. And in a good story, there isn't always a justification of why something happens. There isn't a reason for why something does or doesn't happen. It just happens, and that's part of the story. But because we are in the story, we take it very personally, and we feel like things should happen for us or that they shouldn't happen to us. We feel like there should be some element of control over the story, that we should be able to direct it rather than just enjoy the experience of participating in it. As I said in the last episode, it's not about understanding, it is about experience. And you can try to work it out. You can sit there and contemplate, trying to work out the reason for why things happen, or why your story is the way it is, or why you chose this life, or what it all means, or what you're meant for. But any attempt to do so is just subtracting you from doing what you're here to do, which is to enjoy the experience. And maybe your experience in your story, you are the one who is trying to figure it all out. And that's why it's so paradoxical. Because you can't say, do this. To exist in the story in the right way, you should do this or you should do this. You should try to do this, you should not try to do this. Because as soon as you get into those statements, you lose. Because there's no absolute. There is no truth. There is just experience. And you can fight over that statement. You can say, well, of course there's truth, there's objective truth, there is reality, there is what is rooted real. But that's only real in this world, in this lifetime, and it could be completely wrong in a different world or a different lifetime or a different time. The more you know and the more you look and the more you deeply search within you, the more you realize that everything that is true is untrue, and everything that is untrue is also true. Life is a paradox, and when you hunt for these answers, the reason why people have looked for millennium over these answers, trying to find them and never really finding them, or never having a good enough answer, is because everybody who finds them or gets close to the answer comes out with the same stuff, and nobody is satisfied. Nobody is satisfied by hearing that there isn't really an answer, that there's no point to existence outside of the point of existence. And you can hear that statement and go, well, what does that mean? What does that mean? And it means that you are here. And what more reason do you need than that? Why do you need something else? Why do you need some deeper meaning other than you are here? You are here right now to experience this. And that's all the meaning you need. Go and live. Go and experience. Because when you start taking life personally, whether that's with other people, in friendships, relationships, whatever it is, when you start taking it personally, you start to lose yourself in the justifications, in the hopes and desires, the expectations. You lose that joy, that unseriousness, the play of life, because we start trying to control it. We start having expectations and wanting results, wanting something to go a certain way. I was speaking with my family a few weeks ago about one of my younger cousins, and we were saying that they were young enough to have a plan. And I thought that was amusing because I think when you get to a certain age, you do understand that every time you have a plan, you either don't achieve it and end up frustrated or disappointed, or you achieve it and you end up lost and disappointed. And that isn't pessimistic, it's just reality. That any time that we get something that we want, we just end up wanting something else. There is no singular thing, no matter how bad that you want it, that is going to satisfy you for life. Even if it's your dream career, soon you're going to want something else. Or soon you're going to be very accomplished in that and go, well, what's outside of this? It's our nature to be curious, to want more experience, to want more diversity in our life. They say variety is the spice of life, and I believe that to be true. And again, back into the paradox, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't want things. That doesn't mean you shouldn't have hopes and dreams and desires, because some of the best parts of life are really wanting something and being excited about it and going for it. And if only we knew, like during that time of wanting and enjoying and being excited for it, that was the good part, then I think we would all be far more content and far more happy. But again, another paradox. Maybe that can't be the case. Maybe if that was the case, then we wouldn't even feel the excitement in the first place. We would be too flat because we would understand it too much. But as cliche as it sounds, it really is the journey that is important. And once you get to the destination, you tend to just pick another one. You set your sights on another goal, another dream, another ambition, and before you know it, your dream life is not good enough for you. I heard a man talking who was extremely wealthy, and he was saying about how most people wish that they could be in his position, and yet they don't know how empty it is, or how much he wishes that he could be back where he was. Because he has all the money in the world, he can buy anything he wants. There is nothing that he can't make happen. And when that happens, when you have everything that you wanted, there's nothing left to want. And it becomes quite empty. You get quite lost when you get everything that you want, because you realize that no matter how much you have, it will never be enough. We think that there is this point where we say, okay, well, as soon as I get this, then I'll be happy. As soon as this happens, then I'll be happy. But the answer is that happiness is always there, and it's always waiting for you. You can always be happy. You can always be content. You can be content and you can want more. There's nothing wrong with being content with what you have and also wanting something different or wanting more. I don't really believe that to be truly content means to want nothing. I think it means more so that you are happy with what you have. You're happy with your existence and you're happy with where you are. But you can be happy with where you are and still be on a journey to somewhere else. That isn't to take away or to discredit from where you are. You could say, well, I'm fine where I am, but I just want to experience this thing. If I don't experience it, then that's fine. But I would like to, and I am going to see where the road takes me. Whether I get to where I want to go or whether I don't isn't as important as the fact that I am enjoying exactly where I am now. And I'm not attached to the outcome. I just have an outcome that I would prefer. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe to be content truly is to want nothing. But I think in a more living sense, a more feasible sense for the human condition, I think being content is something more functional. It's to be happy with who you are, to be where you are, and yet still be moving forwards. And that is the paradox. Thank you for listening.